What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Toshi today. It is the 15th day of October, and here we are sitting at about $30.75. 7 hours, 44 minutes left in the day here. We are consolidating and actually doing pretty well with the aftermath here from the 10th, that massive drop that the whole space experienced. I think we're doing about the same as what the average crypto is doing right now, right? We're just range bound, hanging out at these low levels. But what I mean by you're holding up well is compared to what you've done like all year, you've got these nice higher lows still maintained very well, higher highs as well, looking like you want to continue to grow. Structurally speaking, you seem very sound. Sorry, just making sure everything was okay. You seem very sound. Anyways, let's look at the short-term stuff. I do want to look at the 1 hour time frame and then zoom out from there. I want to see what Toshi's doing. I wouldn't be surprised if we did see lower prices come in over the next day or two. I'm expecting Bitcoin to kind of come down a little bit, as well as the rest of the market. We're kind of taking a 180 from what I thought today and the next day would look like. So let's look at that now. I don't know if I said it, but hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Here we are on the 1 hour time frame. You can see that here, as we're moving higher, you had some volume come in, which is nice. We tried to break out and get a higher high here. We had some volume come in and everything to back it up, but nothing happened. Nothing happened. Whenever you get volume and nothing happens, it's typically not a good look. As we're moving down, volume's coming in, which is also not a good sign, right? And if we're coming up here, you can see there was an absence of volume, a complete absence, a lack therein of volume. As we move down here, yes, this candle is a green level of volume, but it's just volume nonetheless. We're having volume pick up as we're moving down, implying that we do want to go lower. That's what I'm seeing here. If we're looking at the 1 hour time frame, looking at this RSI, we rejected the overbought zone after getting oversold. That's also not a good look. That tells me that we probably do have lower to go. The stochastics look bearish, and the MACD here is rejecting the zero. All bearish things, all implying that we do in fact have lower to go. And that's okay. Right? I want to say, as I've said in a few videos today, it is okay for the price to go lower. It's not a problem for the price to go down here. It's a problem if you sell down here. Because likely what's going to happen is one of a few outcomes, right? We're going to go slightly below this low here, and then boom, then we rally. We'll go slightly below these lows here, and then boom, we rally. Maybe we go lower than all of them, and we see something at 3065, 3062, whatever, and then we move up. But regardless of what happens, they all result in the same thing. We're moving up to higher prices than we are now. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you're not going to sell here, and I don't think that anybody should sell here because we're on the precipice of moving higher, you definitely have no business selling there. That's all I'm trying to say, right? I'm not making this video as a warning to say sell now before the drop. It's not like that. It's more of just a preparation within ourselves so that we are not making the wrong decisions, nor are we emotionally charged in the negative way, so that we handle this properly. It's very possible that Toshi does go below what it saw on the 10th here, at least on Coinbase. It's very possible that it does. I'm not saying that it will. It's just possible that it does. If we're looking at this here, again, with all of our indicators, I think it's very, very likely that we do take out this low. And this low being so close to this low, it makes me wonder, are we going to see lower lows? It's very, very possible. We could see some kind of continuation off of this. It looks like, we broke out of this range. We're moving down. We have this move here. Maybe we make a similar move like that, at which case we might have a double bottom exactly at that low. But something below, 3074 sounds appropriate to me. It's probably what we're going to see. Let's just look at this real quick from a low to a high and just see where we are. Low here to a high there. We are at the golden ratio, and sometimes you do bounce here. I hope that we do. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I will be proven wrong if we move up to 307, let's say 30782. If you get a 4 hour time frame or higher time frame to close above 30782, then we likely do continue to move higher. The call for lower prices is off the table. It's out the window. And then we can start expecting things that are, not just moving higher than this high, but higher than this high and on a path to recovery overall. I do believe that we are on a path to recovery. I just think that, after this kind of drop, we're going to see a little bit of stagnation first. We're going to figure ourselves out. We have to shake out the weak hands. And right now there's a lot of people out there who are wondering if this is a sign of further downward price action to come. If we give them a little reason to validate that and think, oh my God, this is just the beginning of more to come, we're in the beginning of a bear market, people will capitulate here, they'll panic sell the bottom, the big dogs will step in and buy, and then we'll send this thing through the roof is probably what's going to happen. Looking at this on a 4 hour time frame, the 4-hour RSI. Again, this is a complete 180 from what we were thinking yesterday and the day before. We were thinking that here we had higher lows, so we were going to come up and form higher highs. We tried that, but we found resistance at prior support zones here, found resistance at prior support zones here, and now we're moving down. We're having a rejection. It's very likely then that we are now in a lower low, lower high kind of dynamic is what I would associate that with. Looking at this here with our indicators, the RSI also taking the shape of going lower. Okay, we are getting lower highs here and not finding support at the 40 like we were looking for. Probably going to get down toward the oversold zone, if not into the oversold zone. If we hold a higher low, that's great. But if we get oversold, we likely do take out this low. So it's very possible that Toshi does go below 307, you guys. And I'm talking about this because, again, I don't want people to panic. It's not a big deal if it goes down there. It's just an opportunity to buy. If you bought here, you bought anywhere over the last few days expecting that the price would come up, that's okay, right? You can be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. Maybe I'll be wrong here. Maybe we don't move down and this is actually a prime area to buy, in which I actually will say, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, it is a prime area to buy. Even if we go down here, this is still actually a very ideal area to buy. You're at a massive discount here. Don't let me stop you from making a purchase. Just be okay with the pain if it comes. Not when it comes, but if it comes. Okay. 2 days ago and yesterday, we were thinking we'd be moving up. Today, we've shifted those views to down. Tomorrow, it might be up again. It just depends, you know, and that's why I've given those invalidation levels at 30782, right? If we invalidate the price to go lower, higher we go. Looking at this with the stochastics, definitely looking bearish, making me think we go lower. The MACD just seems sad. Right? Let me explain why I think it's sad. Look at this. Higher lows here, higher lows in the histograms, the red things here, right? Higher lows on both of those. You had lower lows in the price on a closing basis. The 4-hour closed lower here than it did here. So lower lows there, higher lows there. You had bullish divergence, right? And that's what you got with it. You had bullish divergence on your RSI and your stochastics and your MACD. And that's what you got, right? You're probably going lower. You're probably going lower, and that's okay. That's okay that you're going lower. I really would expect now that I'm comfortable with the idea of us going lower. Where might we go? I mean, just look at that. A little bit lower like that. Perfect. Higher lows here. It makes all the sense in the world that that's where we would go. If we're looking at this from a relative low to a relative high back here, that 236 is calling for you, man. Right there at 3068, that might be exactly where you go. And again, it's nothing to worry about because by the time you get down there, right, it's probably going to be like tomorrow or the next day. It's a 10% drop. By the time you get down there, you're going to pop back up and you're going to be at prices that are above where we are now in a matter of no time at all. Maybe by the end of the week, maybe sometime next week, but soon enough. All right, it's just a moment. It's just a moment down there. Find support where you found support before, where you found some turbulence before, where you found support before, and then come back up. This is the moment where I think talking about Toshi's all-time history probably is appropriate, right? Looking at the all-time history here, the daily chart does look bearish. It agrees with the idea of coming down. I mean, overall, it looks bullish. Let's be fair. Overall, very bullish. But at the moment, it looks bearish. It would agree with coming down. The stochastics did not hold up this bullish cross here, and now we are crossed down, so we probably do come down as well. And the MACD's crossed down. Overall, it's bullish, but again, you could come lower and still look fine. So it would make sense to go down. We look at this all-time history, right? The Toshi 3 chart. And you can see here, I don't know why it's Toshi 3. Toshi 2 wasn't good enough, apparently. You can see here, they've got this massive, massive point here that we are building pressure beneath, right? We found resistance here. This once was our all-time high. We tore through that with the Coinbase listing, came back down and regulated. We've been regulating right up to this point. The pressure's building, and we're going to bust through it in a matter of no time at all. It's going to be spectacular, to say the least. And where we're going to go, again, keep in mind, we are still probably going to move down a little bit from here. A little bit, right? That right there, right here, that's exactly where I think we're going to go. That's the extent of what we're doing. The 10% drop, maybe, just under 10%. And then from there, when we recover, when this thing breaks, when that pressure that's been building up since like September, whenever it gives, we're going to launch. Mark my words. I think the most appropriate word to use is launch. We're going to launch from the current price of 3076 all the way up to 2045 at a minimum. We're going to teleport there. and then probably continue to climb to higher prices. My expectation is that sometime in November, if not even by the end of October, we'll be in this range, right? If we're here by the end of October, I would think that we're at the base of this range. But I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the month, we were at least breaking out of this phase here and we were pursuing higher prices. That's for sure. I think new all-time highs will be reserved for November. I think we will see this 0.0045 to 1 cent target range being achieved in November. And I'm really starting to believe that we will see that 1 cent area. Psychological resistance right there, about a $5 billion market cap. I think it's doable. I think that's what we're going to see. But time will tell. Time will tell. That overall would result, from the current price, that would result in a move that is basically a 6x to a potential 13x endeavor. And again, whenever I say 6x, I'm not just talking about that like it's the end goal. I'm talking about this 6x as if that's the beginning point. We're going to snap right up there, right? It's going to be like this. 1 week goes by and boom, you're all the way up there. Maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Hell, maybe it's 4 weeks, whatever. A month, doing a 6x or a 5.8x in a month is really not that big of a deal, right? That's when I say it's not that big of a deal, I mean it's a huge deal. It's I use the wrong words there. It's not that it's not going to take that much time is what I'm trying to say. It's not going to be a big deal in the form of how long it takes. This is like the standard, right? The big deal is 0.006. The big deal is 1 cent and beyond. That's what's going to happen. This is the standard. This is the minimum. When we get there, that's just the beginning. That's what I mean. It's a big deal to get a 6x. I don't mean to, don't get me wrong. But whenever we break out of this, that's just the beginning point. That's all I'm trying to say. And I would expect that we're there at some point, probably within the next 30 days, like genuinely. So again, any of these movements down in the meantime should not be regarded as anything that's detrimental to the price, right? Everything's going to be fine. 4 days, 8 hours left in this weekly time frame. We look at the weekly RSI, and we can see here very positive structure, right? Higher lows here. You've also got this kind of pressure building here. You're going to break once you get in the overbought zone. Things should really start to take off. Stochastics look bullish overall, and the MACD looks bullish too. We're just in a phase where we're chilling, where we're consolidating, we're waiting, we're being patient, right? And then next week, or the following weeks, we really should see some growth come into play. I wouldn't be surprised if next week we did break out, but time will tell. Anyways, I don't think I have anything else that I want to say. I've said it all. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Again, do prepare yourselves for a little bit of volatility over the coming days. If I'm wrong, 30782. That's the level to pay attention to. If we close above there, 30782, then I'm wrong. And we're not moving down. Instead, we can perhaps focus on prices that are at, let's see, let's say you're watching this and we are well above 30782. By the time you're watching this, we're at like 308 again or higher. Then I would say anticipate 309 to 3097, somewhere in that range. That's probably our next stopping point. We could be there if we invalidate this. If we start to move up today, we could be there, I would say, by the end of tomorrow, if not sometime on Friday. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.